Hey everybody, Motor Rider 41 here, back with another video. This time we're going through Locust State Park. I did this Sunday, May 24th, and unfortunately the audio on the GoPro wasn't working too well that day, so I'm doing a little voiceover action here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Just a little background on the group I'm riding with here. It's some of the same people I rode with a few weeks ago in New York State, but some of them are new, and these guys are doing a much faster pace than what we did last time. And as you can see here, just trying to keep up with these guys is a challenge. Now, I've been riding for like seven years, and I think I've got some pretty good skill, but these guys are on a whole different level. And, excuse me, trying to keep up with them is definitely a bit of a challenge, and I definitely had my work cut out for me this day. It was a pretty long day in the saddle, but it was still pretty good. Good roads, good times. So I'm just going to do sort of a running commentary as we go through here. Sometimes I might not say anything, and other times I'll point out some things. But just to give you an idea of the roads that we were going on, this is one of the first roads we did, and as you can see here, they are much more aggressive in their riding than I am, and there he goes around the corner. Just trying to keep up with these guys is a challenge for me, and considering I've only had this bike, the Goldwing, for 2 months, definitely tested my limits rather, on the bike and my riding skills in general. And there you go. So we're riding this road, then we rode Route 339, which I'm going to have another video on, and Route 125, which is the PA Tail of the Dragon. See, there I am by myself, but that's okay because they usually wait for me at the stop signs whenever I catch up to them, or if they get stuck behind a car, sometimes I'll be able to catch up to them. But this road is just a preamble of what was to come for the day, just to give you guys an idea of what I was dealing with. But it was a good road to start out with, and yeah, so see there, I misjudged that turn completely, and thankfully there was no one coming into on the oncoming traffic. But yeah, so I took it a little easier after that because I felt I was being a little too aggressive for what my limits are, and especially for what the bike can do. I mean, I'm sure the bike can do more, but I just had to take it back a notch and make sure I wasn't going too far out of my reach. Now, generally, I kind of prefer long sweeping curves in general, but this is definitely a good test for me in terms of what I'm able to do and not able to do, and it certainly pointed out my limitations. So I don't know if you guys have ever been on a ride like that where you're, with a group and you just feel a little bit out of your league, but not too much. So, yeah, here I am by myself, just taking my sweet time going down this hill. Eventually I do catch up to them at some point, and it looks like they might have passed this car that's up ahead of me, because I haven't seen them, and I guess they just decided to cross the double yellow line, which they did quite often today, I have to say, and I did take some unusual chances in other parts of the ride that I normally wouldn't do. And I wasn't really too happy with myself for doing that, but sometimes ego gets in the way, or you just want to keep up with the group as much as you can, and you just take a risk. And, it happens. Fortunately, nothing happened to me, and I came home in one piece, and the bike was in one piece. So that was all good. Now, coming around that curve, I think there was a rut in the curve, and my back tire had jumped out slightly, which kind of freaked me out a little bit. And once again, gave me a realization that maybe I should be taking it a little easier on the curves and not go too crazy as those guys are. Now the group I was with, there were 3 BMWs, 1 Kawasaki Versus, a guy on a Victory Vision, which is a huge bike as some of you know, and myself. So we all had our own way of riding, obviously. But the guys ahead of me, I mean, they obviously have a lot more experience than I do, and are able to handle these curves at a much quicker pace than I'm able to handle. So I think coming up to the stop sign, yeah, there they are. So I did catch up to them, but then I got stuck behind these 2 guys in the cars, and basically had to go with their pace, which was probably a good thing, just to calm myself down a little bit and not go too insane. So here I am, just waiting to hopefully pass one of these guys at some point, but I don't remember if I did or not. I think one of them turned off, and then I was able to pass the other guy. We make a right-hand turn at the end of this road here, and I think I ended up passing a guy in the double yellow real quick. So I may put this video up with and without commentary. I'm not sure what you guys prefer, if you guys like the commentary or not. This is the first time I'm doing a voiceover, so we'll see how it comes out, I guess. And if I don't like it, I guess I'll just put up the one without commentary, and I'll just put some music to it and leave it at that. Eventually we do get into a town where we take a break and get some gas before we hit Route 339, which is a great road if you guys are ever out towards, I think it's heading towards in Bloomsburg, PA, and it's a really fantastic road. There's a lot of switchbacks and stuff like that. Very technical as far as the roads I've been on. It's definitely the more challenging of anything I've done so far in riding, and especially on this bike, which again, I've only had this bike for 2 months, so I'm still getting used to the weight and how it handles and go around the curves and what I can do so far. But I did okay, and I was able to eventually meet up with them. So yeah, we're coming up to the stop here, and the white car goes left and the red car was going to the right, which I was going. And there you see one of the riders just made a right-hand turn down at the end there. So I think I'm going to pass this guy right here. And by the way, the bike is in sport mode at this point. I had it in sport mode since the beginning. And I mean, even with that, it's still like, it's quick, but it's not as quick as some of those guys. See, they're already gone. So I'm just doing my own thing here. Eventually I'll catch up to them. And later in the day, however, well, I'll tell you that in the next video, what happened on Route 125. It was a little disappointing for me. So I think that's one of one of the guys on the BMW right there. I think it was a BMW GS 1200, if I'm not mistaken, with the aluminum, looked like aluminum side cases, I guess. They are hard cases. But I mean, you can see how fast these guys are. They're just incredibly quick on this road. And I knew that these guys are fast-paced. They said it was a spirited ride, and they weren't kidding. They were not kidding about the spirited ride. In this corner, I took a little too wide, almost going into the oncoming lane there, which was not cool. So we're nearing the end of the ride here for this run through the park area, and I guess some of it was park and some of it's residential. But still, all in all, a beautiful ride, even with the mistakes I made. Still enjoy it. I think there's one hairpin turn coming up here. Yep, that's it's like the sharpest I've ever done on this bike. Taking it nice and easy around this turn. And here they are at the bottom of the hill. And that's pretty much it. That was the end of the first part of the ride there. That was really great. Again, it was challenging. Overall, the day was challenging for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video, and I will see you guys next time.